testifying, and they would say this in a benediction. You don't hear this too much now. We moved up in life, and certain scripture don't mean too much. But did you say that? Now unto him, man. The Bible says he's able. Who is able to keep you from falling and to present you faultlessly before the presence of his glory with exceeding joy. Man, man. That right there, man. That right there. Now unto him. Now unto him. If Jesus can't keep you, the saints used to say, you don't want to be kept. Listen, the Bible said, now unto him who is able to keep you from falling. Man, when you want to fall, keep you from falling. To the only wise God, our Savior, be glory and majesty, dominion and power, both now and forever. Does this sound like something he gave us? That ain't nothing he gave nobody. Let's go to something else. He ain't gave nobody none of that stuff right there. That sounds like some stuff he gave us. Listen now, to the only wise God. To the only wise God. Now, they could be some, but listen, he made a distinction there. To the only wise God. You'll say the true and living God? Jesus, true and living wise God. Boy, listen. Could you imagine, let's say for instance, all right, we could just do a little something here. Let's say for instance, this is God, okay? Let's say for instance, this is God. And we can just use this as God. And he said, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. You're created in my image and in my likeness. All this right here is with, and then God does this. I'm just doing a little something. And then he put himself in you. And where he go, you go. And where you go, he go. Could you imagine that? So the devil, where he go, you go. Where you go, he go. Where he goes, you go. Where you go, he go. Because now, listen now, I'm with you. Though you can't see me, but I'm with you. Amen. And if you think about falling, I'll keep you. See, that's how you know he's with you. When the enemy comes and say, I'm going to cause you to fall, I'll keep you from falling. All right, let me go. Just make some people mad on a Wednesday night. What night is Wednesday or Tuesday? I know it's Wednesday. You see how people like to correct people? The Bible said, now unto him, listen, the Bible said, now unto him that is able to keep you from falling, and, listen, and, continuation, and, listen, I can keep you from falling, and I can also present you faultlessly before the presence of his glory. Listen, if I can keep you from falling, I'm going to also present you faultlessly. In other words, when you stand before God, you stand before him no fault. Could you imagine that? Boy, let me tell you something. My robe will be clean. Because of the blood. Listen, now unto him, man, listen. I thank God for Jesus. You hear what I'm telling you? I thank God for Jesus. Because he's the only one that can do this. Faultless. I don't care how many faults you see. What matter is that the Father sees no fault. You might judge me, but when he was judged, I was judged. When he got up, I got up. When he died, I died. When the Father made the statement and said, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased, he was talking about me. I know you don't like that. He was talking about me. When he said to Jesus, he said, this is my, when he was talking, and here you got the disciples, a couple of them there. 3, 2. Anyway, James, John, Peter. All right. Listen, he said, this is my beloved son, in whom I am well pleased. Your problem is you're scared to say it because that don't apply to me. That apply to Jesus. Yes, it apply to you. If he's going to present you faultless, then this is my beloved son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear him. This is my beloved. Now I know the Bible calls us all sons. But listen, this is my beloved daughter, in whom I am well pleased. Hear her. That's a parent, right? Defending the child. And the thing about it is, he made this statement in the front of Satan. Boy, it's amazing. He made this statement in the front of Satan. Because listen now, he was there too. You didn't see him. Just like they didn't see God, but they heard. Satan was there too. But the Bible said, not unto him, not unto him, not unto him, not unto Jesus, not unto him that is able to keep you. That is able to keep you. Boy, I love that right there, man. That is able to keep you. That is able to keep you walking upright. That is able to keep you in him. That is able to keep you in love. Listen, when you feel like I'm about to lose everything, God, they're threatening to take everything from me. God, things ain't go. Listen, now unto him who's able to keep you. Listen, they're threatening to take everything away from me. But listen, now, there's an angel right there. Now unto him. Now unto him. Right there. Angel right there. Now unto him. See, it's beautiful when you start talking about God. Listen now, let me share something with you. A lot of things can transpire, a lot of things can happen, but let me share something with you. Whenever God promised you something, he sticks to the promise. Whether you show up or not, God keeps his promise. And here's what, people, well, I fell. But the Bible said, now unto him who is able to keep you. Listen, God said, listen, here's how God see the thing. Yeah, I know you fell, but you up. Because if he's able to keep me from falling, listen, you call it a fall, I call it a stumble. See, let me share something with you about falling. When a person goes to the place, where Satan is, then you fall. You fall. That's a fall. You fall there. That's a fall. In Christ, you don't fall. You rise. That's what the Bible says, unto him who's able to keep you. The lowest I fall is to my knees. Listen, I'm telling you, the Bible said, now unto him that is able to keep you from falling. Listen, everybody is praying and hoping you would fall. And God said, I'll allow it to be so. I'll allow them to say it. Because this is the only way they're going to see my glory. When they see that you didn't fall, then they're going to know it was me who kept you. They're going to know it was you who kept me. They're going to know it was him who kept you. God will keep you, man. I love the continuation. And listen, the first part, I'm going to keep you from falling. The next part, and listen, and I'm going to present you faultlessly before, listen, and I'm going to usher you before the Father, but I'm going to usher you faultlessly. The same way the Father sees me is the way he going to see you. Without any fault. Listen, it wouldn't have been placed in the Bible if he didn't mean it. Here's the people. Well, I messed up last night. Well, now unto him. Now unto him. Now unto him. Now, well, I can't come too close to God. That's why when people mess up, they can't come to church. Why? Because you feel like you can't get close. Listen, now let me share something with you. He's in you. If you mess up so bad, you need to ask him, well, you need to get out of me. Where could you go? He's not there. David said, if I make my bed in hell, he's there. So where can I go where he's not? See, for the sinner or for the one who lack understanding, they don't understand this. So they say, I left God. Where did you leave him? Where did you leave him? Where did you leave him? Because let me share something with you. You're going to need Jesus to present you. I wouldn't go into the courtroom of God without him. Because the devil will have too many things to point out about me. But if I walk in there with him, I walk in there like him. Boy, let me tell you something. Brother Joe, I want it to be so that when I walk in, he thinks Jesus walked in. That's how God does this thing. All right, I'm finished. That's it. Boy, you can quit with Bible study right there. All right, go to Genesis. I love that right there, man. Go to Genesis 1:27. Go to Genesis 1:27. I remember when the Lord started calling me to teach this stuff, man, and to preach this. You're kind of skeptical about a lot of things. And now, man, I wouldn't trade it. You kind of, fear. And then, when you're a little insecure about things, you keep, are you understanding? Are you getting anything? Are you learning? Different things like that. And no. Listen. Over the years, now listen what I'm saying. Over the years of him carrying you. Over the years. Now listen. This is how he presents. See, if he let you walk and you're not able to walk, then you're going to fall. Certain people say that they're walking with him. No, you're not. You're not walking, he's carrying you. Have you ever met people who can't walk from one week to the next week without a stumble, a fall? Those are the people you pick up and carry. Come on, I gotta take you through this week. Come on, I gotta take you through next week. Come on, I gotta take you through this month. Come on, I gotta take you. But listen, here's what I want you to understand. He don't give up on you. He keep carrying you. He keep carrying you until you are strengthened enough. You know what the strength he's talking about? Until you are able to stand. Until you are able to stand and walk. And then here's what I want you to understand. He don't walk so fast that you can't keep up. He walk at the pace that you can pace at. If you can walk at this pace, that's the pace he walk at. Boy, it was the best thing he did when he went back to the Father. I'm telling you, it was the best thing he did when he went back to the Father. Because the disciples would have been so crippled. They would have been so crippled. Not like physically crippled. But they would have been so dependent. Well, go to Jesus. He can do it. No. I'm teaching you how to walk. I'm teaching you how to walk. Before you fall, I'll catch you. because I'm with you. I'll never leave you nor forsake. I'll never leave you nor forsake you. I'm married to the backslider. You might as well go ahead and tell the person who said they backslide, tell them, listen, he said he'll never leave you nor forsake. He said he will never lose anyone that the Father has given him. So you say you backslid. He said he'll never lose you. Are y'all? So God created man in his image and in his likeness. What? So God created man in his image and in his likeness. So God created man in his image and in his likeness. So God created man to look like him, to act like him, to talk like him, to walk like him, to perform like him, to be like him. So God created man in his image and in his likeness. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. He made sure that you know who made you. You know in the scripture when the Bible said, Jesus told the disciples, he said, go into all the world. Notice he didn't say go into all the earth. He said go into all the world. There's a difference between the world and the earth. The earth is, the world is different. The world basically is systems. Go into all the world and teach them. Teach them what? Because listen, they are so caught up in the world's way of doing things, they need to be taught on how to do it my way. The world will pull you in, and when it's tired of you, it'll bury you. Here is the thing that I don't understand about people. When you're trying to get things the world way, and you're mad with God because he won't let it happen. If God created you in his image and likeness, it means he got something for you. He got a plan for you. In the image, listen, there's a whole lot of people created. There's a whole lot of people created. But there's a whole lot of people that don't act like him. And for the ones who is like him and want to be like him, and he's in them and they're in him, you want to do it the world's way and you want God's blessing. That makes no sense. How is it that I want to do it my way, and my way, because of what I came out of and the way I was taught and programmed? God gave me a whole way of thinking, a whole new way of thinking and doing things. So if I want to do it my way outside of his way, how could I ask him to bless my way? My way is outside of his way. If my way hadn't become his way, how could he bless it? It's just like you and your children. Your children decide, because you allow them to hang over at Juniper's them house. Notice what I said. I ain't calling nobody. Juniper's them house. You allow them, so they come back to your house expecting to do things in your house the way Juniper allowed them to do it in their house. But in your house, you have a way. Am I correct? Now, here is what happened is, I'm crying at your house. I'm your child. I'm crying at your house because you won't let me do it their way. Now listen, I want you to bless what I'm crying about. But you are saying we don't do that here. That's God. That's God. It's my way or no way. In other words, God said, I'm not going to run my company. I'm not going to run my company the way you think it should be run. So I gave you an order. I gave you a manual. I gave you a handbook on how my company is to be run. And I made you in a way that you are supposed to run it that way. I made you like me. Adam had lost his identity till he fell. Now I want you to understand this. We just read Jude, right? Now unto him. Adam didn't fail until when he messed up, he failed. Correct. Now unto him who was able to from falling. But Adam fell because the him that is able to keep you wasn't there. But he was there. But he was there. He was there. But listen, Adam fell. But he was there. The one who was able to keep him from falling was there. How did Adam fall? Listen, let me share something with you. Nobody in here except your child has special needs. You still carry around an 18-year-old person. Unless they have special needs. But most 18-year-old is able to walk. So if God created Adam in his image and in his likeness, and Adam didn't come through a birth canal, he was a full-grown man. So therefore, Adam, everything that I downloaded into you is like me. So if everything that I place in you is like me, when you got up, you were walking. I didn't have to carry you because I came and visited you. I didn't came and visit you sitting down. I came and visit you, that man that was upright. So he didn't need the one who was able to keep him from falling. Because he had God. The one who taught him how not to fall. Listen. Oh, listen. Adam had it all, man. The Bible, listen, and now we got it all. But we trying to do it outside of God. It's amazing when we try to do it outside of God. I want to do it my way. God, you bless this thing, and I want you to bless it. And God saying, that's not my will for you. But God, God said, that's not my will for you. But God, that's not my will for you. The next thing is, God said, I'll honor it because that's what you desire. When God tell you I'll honor it because that's what you desire, some people, because some of us, let's put it like that, some of us has stayed before him so long concerning a thing, and God know you're not mature enough to handle the thing, but because you stayed before him long enough, he give you the thing. Knowing that the thing is going to cause you to do the same thing Adam did. Now, I didn't say a human being, I said a thing. I said a thing. Okay? So you ask for it, I'm going to give it to you. That's what you want. But now listen, I want you to understand, that's not my will for you. Then there are those who walk with him in such a way that their mind have been transformed, that God said, listen, because I trust you so much, because I love you so much, and I put so much in you, and I trust the decision you make, because you have grown in me, and you think the way I think, you act the way I act, you talk the way I act. If you say it, I'll do it. You got to grow to get there. You got to grow to get there. If God says that to me and her, he want to say the same thing to you. But you have to grow to get there. You say it, I'll honor it. Man, let me tell you something. It's not that I walk in fear, but I'm cautious as to what I say. I'm more cautious now than I ever. Especially when it comes down to saying things about people or about myself. Because you have to be real careful. listen, here's what God say. I'm not carrying you. You're walking with me. Let me share something with you about walking and carrying. See, when God is carrying you, you ain't got much choice. If you're walking, you got more choices. Because if you following him, you got more choices. You can stop. You can look around. You can go over there. You can do what you want to do. But if he's carrying you, you got to go where he goes. In some cases, some people love to be carried. Because I know I can't mess up. Because I got to go where you go. And I'll always be in your will. But for the person who have matured and walking with God, you have made your mind up to say, listen, I'm going to be the same way. Though you're not carrying me, but wherever you go, I'm going. Because I know you know the path. You know the way out of things. You know the way into things. You know how to take me through things. I'll trust you. Listen, I believe that Jesus is in me. Okay, you believe it. I believe that Jesus called me. Okay, you believe it. But if you never walk out on what you believe, it's a possibility he just called you. And that's it. See, some people want things to be perfect before they move. See, all the stars got to be in line. And you want things to be perfect before you move. You'll never get what God promised you if you're looking for perfection in this world system. And the devil knows it. Now unto him who is able to pay for it. All right, let's move on. Where we at? Where we at? Man, God, I'm so scared. Give me the million first, then I go by. Is that what he said? Is that what God said? Let me share something with you. God had already saved the people, chose the people, he saved them. He's going to get his people. I already died for these people. I'm going to get my people. I already died for them. I'm going to get them. I've already paid for them. Now I need you to go get them. I already paid for them. Now I need, you still ain't catching me. I already paid for them. Now I need you to go get them. You still ain't getting them. I already paid for it. I need you to go get it. Let me sit down. Let me sit. No, I ain't gonna sit down. Sister Deborah, you don't have it? I guarantee y'all don't have it. Because you're basing everything on you. Everything is based on you. But the Bible says this, now unto him. It didn't say now unto her. It didn't say now unto me who is able. It said unto him who is able. Listen, he paid for it. That's why you're able to. It's the old mindset, Brother Joe. That's it right there. It's the old mindset. See, I read the word, I hear the word, but I let the old mindset talk me out of what God give me. And then I start analyzing things based on what I have. I ain't got enough food. How I'm going to feed 20 people? Because I'm analyzing. I'm looking at and I'm basing everything on my ability. But now unto him who was able to carry you. If Jesus based everything on his ability, those people wouldn't have ate in the wilderness. No, I'll tell you what, I'll do a little better than that. If he based everything on the ability of the disciples, they told him plain out, we ain't got enough money to feed these people. Right. That's what they told him. We don't have enough money to feed these people. So listen, you can't base it on your ability. I don't have enough money to pay for this car. know I don't have enough money to pay for the car. I know I don't have enough money to pay for the house. I know I don't. But now unto him. But now unto him. But now unto him. But now unto him who is able. That's it right there. Who is able. But now unto him who is able. See? That's where it come in at. Some of us really need to go and live in the Bahamas for about 2 years, where everything has to be imported. See, we have certain mentality, mindset, where I know I can go to the store because it's right there. And I know I'm going to work, so I had the money at the end of the week to get it. But when you go into a country like that, you have to believe God for everything. Because if something ever happened, listen, in the United States, there are many stores, many supermarkets, many. In those places, there are very few, but there's a whole lot of people. Wait a minute, if there's ever a shortage, somebody is short. Now unto him who's able to feed me. Listen, everything in the Bible is there for you and I today. You still ain't catching it. You still ain't catching it. Everything is based on your income. Everything is based on your means. Everything is based on what you can do. Everything is based on how much you have. Everything. Listen. Here is the thing. I need a miracle. God said, you are not in the situation where you need a miracle yet. You know how miracle works. You know how miracle works. Okay, you need a miracle. The doctor cut your arm off. Now you need a miracle. Now you need a miracle. You need a miracle now. Because every time you try to reach for it, ain't no arm there. Now you need a miracle. Because everything is based on your ability. Yeah. Boy, if y'all stop fighting me. Yeah, you fighting me. Listen, I'm the messenger. And you fighting the messenger. I ain't believing nothing you said. Listen, let me tell you something. I got up this morning and last night before I went to bed, and this morning, listen, I got a new song now. The new song is He Made Me a Multi-Millionaire. And I was singing the song too. What are you talking about? And I'm not like worldly now. I'm singing it was a twist of a Christian song, but I just put this is what he made me. Well, how in the world you can get that, Pastor? Listen. I'm just like you. I believe like you believe. I believe like you believe. I'm just like you. The difference between you and I is I know a little bit more about the will, and you're afraid to step out in it. Say it again. That's the world. That's the system. Go into all the world and teach them how to be disciples. Disciples of what? Not of the world. See, the world taught us how to live. All right, now listen. You work hard and you work long. One day, perhaps, one day after 50 years, one day, you might get there. Get where? Get where? I know a person right now can't wait until they get their suit. What a check called? Keep looking at the camera there. Keep looking at the camera there. Nobody won't know who I'm talking about. Keep looking at the camera there. Man, waiting on that thing, boy. No, don't put my name down for nothing. My Social Security coming here soon. Now listen now. You have limited millions to a couple of hundreds. I work for that money. Let me tell you something. God can do in one day what you work for 50 years. God can do in one day what you work for in 50 years. Because let me share something with you. Here is the world system that we live in today. I hope that you don't draw all of it. That's the plan. So I'm pushing it back so that you won't get it all. So it'll go to the state. Because they have it set up, your children can't get it. The only way they can get it is that they're under a certain age. But other than that, they can't get it. So we hope that all your children is grown so they can get it. And that way you will donate the money back to us. God said, I don't work like that. That's what God said. I don't work like that. Listen, I don't want you to work until you die. I don't want you to work yourself to the bone. Then when you're old, you can't do for me. I want to take care of you and show you who I am while you're young. But hey, listen, if you believe in God for that, then you believe God for that. But I'm believing God for greater and bigger. I'm beyond believing. I know He is my Redeemer. He is my Abel. Not Cain and Abel. He is my Abel. He is the one that will and has brought me out. Yes. Yes. He is the one who has transformed this mind. That's who He is. That's what He's doing. That's where He's taking. That's where He's taking you. You're fighting. You're fighting it. You know how beautiful it is to come in this place and have a meeting? When you go home after the meeting is over with, you can say, you know, I ain't got to go to work in the morning, but I got to do some things for the Lord. Amen. You know how beautiful it is to say, you know, I spent 8 hours doing things for God. And it wasn't just studying the Bible, but I was out doing things, visiting people, praying for people, feeding people. Some of you need to be on a job right now because you are not disciplined enough to do it for the Lord without being on a job. Because when we look for you to do what God has called us to do, you won't show up. That ain't nobody in here. Everybody here eager to do what God called him. I'm calling those things that be not as though they. Bless the Lord. I have more scriptures, man. Created in the image and likeness of God. And that's what God created. That's who God created. That's who God made us to be. That's what God is doing. Matthew, Jesus answered, have you not read that from the beginning the Creator made them male and female? Matthew 19:4. Have you not known? 1 Corinthians 11:7. A man ought not to cover his head, since he is the image of God, the image and the glory of God. I cover mine, Paul, I had to cover. First Corinthians 11:7. I understand what you were saying. Ephesians 4:24. Who got it? Ephesians 4:24. I got the second part of it. Who got the first part of it? And then Colossians 3:10. Ephesians 4:24. And that ye put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness. There's a church called itself True Holiness from that right there. And that you put on the new man, and that you put on the new man, and that you dress yourself in the new man, and that you dress yourself. You can't dress yourself in the new man if you don't know nothing but the new man. And that you put on the new man. The old man cuss. The new man blesses. The old man covers his or herself. The new man dressed skimpy. Is that true? The new man covered himself or herself. The old man dressed in such a way to get people's attention. Because you have an identity crisis. That's the old man. The new man dressed like, well, the old man dressed like that because it have, it's an identity problem. But the new man is totally different. He thinks different. How can I please God? What can I do today? God, what did you call me today? God, what is your will for me today? I know you called me to greater things. I know you called me to new things. I know you called me to be. The new man knows that God has supplied all his needs. That's the new man. The new man don't fall. That's the new man. Let this mind be in you that was also in that man. Christ has transferred, listen, he has transferred you from one world to another world and told you, listen, I want you to understand the unseen things are much greater than the seen. You are looking at a world that is falling. And if you stay in it, you're going to fall with it. But the unseen world is greater than the world you see. If that's true, all my needs are met in the unseen world. So therefore it manifests itself in the seen world. If God has called me to do great things for me, you don't think he won't take care of me? David said, I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed. See, our biggest problem is we talk to God like he's a distant father. Well, I just, my real dad, I can really talk to him. Well, wait a minute, well, who God is to you? Ma, you find that not true, ain't you? Some people ain't had that, so some people ain't had that. My just didn't have that. Amen. But there's some people who I can talk to, and then God is saying, well, what about me? Let's talk about some things. Let me share with you. If you want to know who you really are, ask God. If you want to know what's really in you, ask God. You find a person that is complaining about what they don't have, where they're not going. I've been doing this for all these many. I'm still on the battlefield, whatever. You have lost your identity. Really. You have lost your identity. And the devil lied to you. Because let me share something with you. If you don't get money, you got breath in your body. Yes. Do you know how many people that don't have breath and have to have something to breathe into them? Yes. The next thing is, do you know how many people are without good health? Yes. And you have good health? But you are complaining about something you accumulated and asking God to bless what you accumulated. Whatever God gives you is what God says, I'll take care of. I'll take care of what you accumulated because I love you, but I don't have to. Well, God, it just ain't fair. A lot of things ain't fair. But the scripture don't change for me nor you. It didn't change for Jesus. The Bible said, if you take sin upon yourself, the wages of sin is death. That's the scripture. Jesus became. He didn't sin. He became. He took sin. In other words, the wages for what you took is death. You're going to die. And that's what he did. But he died, he knowing I have the power to get up. The Bible said the same power that raised him from the dead is the same power that's abiding in you and I today. If that is true, God, I should be fighting for your will, not for what I want. Because if your will becomes satisfying to me, then you tell me in his will there's no good thing that he's withholding from you. God knows what you need before you ask. His thing is, don't come to me complaining. Come to my throne boldly. Anybody ever had, see, your biggest problem is you ain't never went to the courtroom because you ain't never had no problem. You ever went before somebody boldly? Like bold, you know. Listen, this is my situation, blah, 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 and, you know, I kind of need you, blah, blah, and you presented your case boldly. Not arrogantly, boldly. Not arrogantly, boldly, because I want you to understand now. Listen, I want you to understand this. I really want you to understand this. We are in debt to him. We are in debt to him. We are not in bondage, but we are in debt to him. Don't you get to the place to where you feel like he needs you and you don't need him. Anybody remember in St. John, the 11th chapter, when Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead? I think it's the 11th chapter. When Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead, Jesus told them, listen, because I've called you to be my disciple, I want you to understand there's something you're going to have to do, and there's something only I can do. Right. See, you can't do my part, and I ain't going to do your part. Now, I can do your part, but listen, I'm going to show you how to do your part. Then when I leave, I want you to do your part, and I'll do my part. Right. My part is the raising from the dead. Right. Your part is to go get him free. Right. My part is the raising from the dead. After 4 days, the Bible said he called Lazarus from the dead. Lazarus was dead. After 4 days, Jesus showed up on the 4th day. The man been dead 4 days. He's stinking. But Jesus called him forth. The dead man got up and came out. Listen, but now here the dead man is up. Listen, the dead man is waiting on somebody to call. Only he could call from earth to eternity. Now the same word that he called from earth to eternity is the same word he put in you and I. Exactly. You wouldn't have never said that to a mere man. Can these bones live? Can these dry bones live? You wouldn't have never said that to a mere man. You saying that, God, to yourself. Ezekiel looked at, listen, Ezekiel, God, only you know. I don't know. Only you know. Now, if he brought that to you today, you can say, yes, they can live. I can say it boldly, yes, they can live. How you mean? Well, why would you say yes? Listen, I read you did it. These bones were dry and you did it. Listen, he's bringing you out of whatever you're in. Your situation was dry. Listen. The only thing I require you to do is to go and untie those who are in bondage. You go set them free. Jesus said, I came to set the captive free. Then you turn around and put the same power in you. All right, listen, you can't raise them from the dead, I can't. But you can take the grave clothes off of them. You can do that. Because that's what I call you to do. See, it was a part he could do and a part they could do. Same thing with you. It's a part you can do and there's a part he can do. And he's saying, you want me to do my part without you doing your part. When they were walking together, listen, when they were walking together, Jesus made a statement and said, friend Lazarus, he's asleep. And the disciples, well, he'll be all right if he's sleeping. No, he dead. He dead. But I love what Jesus said. He said he's asleep. How could you be asleep and you ain't died in Christ yet? He was already slain before the foundation. In other words, Jesus said, I'm only doing what I see my Father has already done. So in other words, my Father has already done this. So all I'm doing is working out what he's already done. He was already raised. I'm just carrying up. Listen, there are so many things that was already done in your life that you hadn't got to yet. And there are so many things that was already done that you still delayed because you don't want to get to it. God said, I've already given you the millions. Why are you crying to me about it? I know you still want it. No, your problem is this. I don't know how to cause it to manifest. Just go ahead and say it. Just go ahead and say it. I don't know how to cause it to manifest. I don't know how to cause it. I know you gave it. How do I cause it to manifest? Just go ahead and say that. That's the best thing. I don't know how to cause it to manifest. I know you gave it, but I don't know how to cause it to manifest. Let's just be honest. I know you gave it. Some of y'all don't know he gave it. How do you make this thing? How did man? I don't know. I know you gave it. But how? Teach me that. Now you into some things. Now you into deep water. Because see, you shallow when you complaining. You shallow when you complaining. Now you in the deep water. Listen, let me share something with you. God got you in the situation you're in because he want to be glorified. Amen. And you complaining, but God said, I want to be glorified. I want them to see you don't have it. All right. Amen. I want them to know where you're living. But God, I'm embarrassed. God, I ain't living too good. I want them to know, because the only way God can be glorified is that he bring out a group of people who had no chance at becoming this. All right. Amen. You ain't had no chance at becoming no millionaire. Go ahead. What chance you had? Please tell me. What chance you had? What chance you had? And none of us in here know the president. What chance you had? No. Well, I did have a chance. Well, why you don't have it? Well, what happened is my marriage went south. Well, I looked at the woman that I was married to, and she ain't got it yet. So what chance I had? She ain't got it. Well, what chance I had? No chance. So what God's saying, here is what I've done. I have blocked things for your sake. Because if I gave it to you 10 years ago, ain't no glory in that. So what I do is I allow situation to become, and I can't say too much. I can't say too much. All I know is my situation has turned itself around, and not because what I'm thinking or not because what I'm feeling, is what I know. It's what I know. It's just like when you know when you get in your car tonight where you plan on going when you leave here. Just like you know that. I know that my situation has turned itself around financially. Well, how you mean, God? How you mean, God? Listen, in other words, where I was only allowed an allowance, because I had to budget myself, an allowance to buy certain things. And I couldn't go beyond that because I knew what I had to deal with next week. Well, my situation has changed. In other words, I budget myself because I choose to budget myself. But my situation says I can go further than what I budget myself because it won't hurt me. In other words, I have financially more than enough. More than enough. In other words, what God is saying, the same way I displayed Solomon is the way I'm going to do you. You ain't ready for that type of stuff. See, you ain't ready for that. See, Brother Joe, it's the mind. Are you serious? Well, wait a minute. Why are you wasting your time with him if you don't believe he's going to do it? Why? Why are you wasting your time with the man or woman if you don't feel like they're going to marry you? Help me. Why? Listen, you don't have 20 years to waste your time with a person who's not going to marry you. Well, we're going to date for 20 years. What? Well, okay. Let's calculate. You 40-something now. How old you think you're going to be in 20 years? Just in case you 60-something years old and the man decides, I ain't want to marry you. Now you have wasted 20 years hoping and a wishing that a man or a woman would have married you and decided after 20 years, I don't want to. Because after those years, your body didn't shape up the way I thought it should. Devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. The same way it is with God. God, I have been before you 20 years. I've been before you 10 years, God. I haven't left you yet. So in other words, Brother Joe, I'm not with you because of the finance. I'm not with you because of the finance. Because if I've been with you this long and you hadn't given me the finance yet, I would have been left you. Because there are other financial systems that I could have gone to. But I choose to believe that your system is better than the system that I lived in, than the system that trained me and the system that taught me. Because the system that taught me is taking advantage of me. Listen, your situation has changed. You have to do it. See, when the devil listen now, if the devil is in your home, if the devil is in you, the devil gonna tell you your situation has changed. Let me tell you something. The reason why some of you are not married, because what is attached to you or is in you is telling you you ain't gonna get married, and I'm gonna block everybody that you have any interest in. Even when it comes down to finance, any door that the Lord has opened, when the Lord moves away from the door, I'll go and shut it, because you can't see into the supernatural. Let me tell you something. God has given you eyes to see and know. God has given you help. And everything that God gave you, he's getting ready to open. God has given you help. And everything that God has given you, he's getting ready to open. Everything that God has given, listen, because here's what God, listen, here's what I want you to understand this. Some things are going to happen in the land. Some things are going to happen in the land that we live in. And God want to make sure that his is taken care of. See, everything else is sinking sand. I have lived my last days broke. Amen. That's right. One guy said, I'll never be ever again in my life as broke as I am right now. My sister Melissa said, no, don't ever say you're broke, you're in between blessings. No, don't never say you're broke, you're in between blessings. I don't have the money. No, you're not broke. You're in between blessings. You're in between blessings. No, you're not broke. You're not broke. You just hadn't found your harvest yet. Let me share something with you. Let me share something with you. The field is right, but you hadn't found the field yet. Glory be to God. Yeah. The Bible said this concerning Jesus. It said this concerning Jesus. Jesus made this statement. He said, the harvest is plenty. The field is right, but the labors are few. See, the more laborers you got out, you're going to find the field. Amen. You're going to find the field. In other words, God, you are going to have to direct my path. Yes. Now unto him who's able to direct me. Sunday he told me I'll give you favor. I gave you favor with me and with man. Well, let me share something with you. If you got favor with God, you got favor with every angel that is in existence. And I don't know how many of them they are. And just as we speak, they're opening doors. Just as we speak, they're opening doors. So you don't know what's for you until you go talk. Well, how you get that thing here? How you get that money to show up? Money cometh to me now. I don't say that, Leroy. You know Leroy Jenkins? Money come to me now. Leroy Thompson? Leroy Thompson, not Leroy right now. But money cometh to me now. Money cometh to me now. Money coming to me now. And boy, the people went through that thing. Did the money came? You already gave up. You already gave up. Let me tell you something. None of us are like Joseph, but our life is like him. Because of what God placed in him, he had the ability to function in the world system that was set up because of the gift God gave him. He didn't need the gift of healing. The boy knew how to cause things to prosper because God was giving him insight on what to do. He knew how to work things. But because of the gift that was in him, he was put in a situation because of those who didn't like him. And those that didn't like him was the enemy and whoever he had working for him. But they placed him right where God wanted him. Let me share something with you. Even if they don't place you where God wants you, God will prosper you where you are. Heaven is not based on the economy of your city. I need to let you know that. Heaven is not based on the economy of your city. If that was the case, some of the places Jesus went should have never got nothing. But when Jesus showed up, he showed up with all of heaven. He showed up with all of heaven. The Bible said when he was on the cross, he said, I could call down 10,000 legions on the cross. He showed, listen, heaven's still with it. On the cross, how could you make that statement? Listen, I could call down 10,000. What type of access do you have? That you could call that many angels and they'll come and work on your behalf. Wait a minute, I'm saying something there, boy. I'm saying something. Y'all ain't catching this. You got to catch this. If that's the case, how could you be on the cross, getting ready to die, with that type of access to where you tell the people, I could call down 10,000 legions of angels? That's what he said. That's the access he had. How did you get that type of access? How you got that type of access? Listen, if the same God that was in him is in you and I, you have the same type of access. We'll deal with you. Yeah. Exactly. So don't you start nothing. Don't you start nothing. Because listen, there is more for you. When Jesus made that statement, man, listen, he said, I could call down 10,000. In other words, what he was saying is, I have more for me than you and all hell against me. I want you to understand that. I can call down 10. Listen now, notice what he said. He didn't say I can call up. He said I can call down. Boy, you'll catch that. He said I can call down. I want you to understand. You know what he was saying? I can call down a mega blessing right now that will come and deliver me. But it ain't the will of my Father. Well, listen, when you find out the will of your Father for you, you have the right to call it down. I'm telling you now, God is giving you access on how to get this bubble burst. I call the money down. I call the money down. Whatever angel deals with it, I call the angel now. I call the angel now. Put him into action now. Because some people need a miracle. And God want to be glorified. Be glorified in my life. God want to be glorified. In other words, when I look back at what you came out of, you shouldn't have never had that. Just like they say you shouldn't have never gotten saved. But when I look at where you came from, nobody in your family gonna make it good. Nobody in your family, that's what you say. But that ain't what heaven say. Nobody in your company gonna make it, that's what you say. But that ain't what heaven say. Nobody in your family ever be rich, that's what you say. But that ain't what heaven say. Nobody in your family ever be educated, that's what you say. But that ain't what heaven is saying. Nobody in your family ever get healed, that's what you say. But that ain't what heaven's saying. That ain't what heaven said. Sister Elena, if God healed my body, he'll heal my finances. If God heals your body, he will heal your finances. All right, let me ask you this question. All right, I want you to understand that because I know what you're going to say. Well, Pastor, but I ain't never been to the point the way I needed to be healed because I can't remember him healing me or anything. All right. Do you know anybody that was healed of something in here? Okay. If God healed them. See, our problem is we stopped at that healing. We didn't went no further. Oh, praise the Lord. Wait a minute. If you healed that individual's body, then you would have healed the finance too. Because you don't begin a good work and not complete. Whatever you begin, you complete it. Okay, God. Young man made this statement. He said, God told him, you remember I told you everything. He said, God told him, whom I have blessed, no man can curse. And whom I curse, no man can bless. Now I want you to understand, you're not cursed. And so if you're blessed, then that means a blessing. Blessings should be coming in and out of your life. See, God want to give you so much that you can bless others. Okay, well, let me share something with you. Jesus said the people were hungry. Go into the town and buy the people something to eat. We ain't got enough money. Okay. All right, we understand that. All right, listen. What heaven going to do is, heaven going to bless you in such a way that you're going to be able to bless others. Oh, how you mean? Okay, here's what heaven going to do. Here's what heaven going to do. The Bible said he took that boy's lunch, in this case, lifted up and gave thanks. When he gave thanks, what was already there in the atmosphere for him was now released. They'll get it a little bit. When he took what he had, held it up and gave thanks. Thank the Father for this that you've given me. Now I ask you to multiply it. So that the people could know that you are who you say you are. See, I know you. They don't know you. And this is your way of getting glory so they would know you. And the Bible said he took the food, just a little bit, and started distributing to the disciples. And the food never ran out. Could you imagine having a bank account that you ain't putting no money in, but every time you go? Money in the bank. Could you imagine having a spot in your house where nobody know about you, where you hiding your money in the, up in the drawer? Listen, up in the drawer, and you got it back in the corner back there, thinking nobody know anything about it. Yeah, I'm in your house. I'm in your house. You got it back up in the corner there. That ain't the bank, but that's emergency cash, just in case. Just in case. Just in case. Oh, Shante, give me something to drink. Listen. Bless the Lord. I tap into something that I shouldn't have tapped into. Amen. Emergency cash. Nobody know that you have it there, but you didn't know God would take a person to your house and let them look at you stash the money. And then God would turn around and tell the prophet or the apostle where you got the money hidden at. But I won't expose your business, Listen. You make sure nobody go in that drawer. You ain't got no business going in that room because you got that money stashed in there. That's all right. God will keep it protected. God will keep it blocked. You too, we thank God for you guys. We bless the Lord for what he's doing. Thank God for every door that he's opening in your life. just as well as the doors He's opening here. The same way God is going to feed us, He's going to feed you. Amen.